It is a very good week for music documentary lovers. That would be me. We just told you about EPIC, which stands for Elvis Presley in Concert, and now we've got another one. Hey everybody, I'm McBride, the movie guy, and today let's talk about Man on the Run, the Paul McCartney and Wings story.
1, 2, 3.
The Beatles have been my whole life, really. When we split up, I thought, I'll never write another note of music ever.
In Man on the Run, Oscar-winning documentary filmmaker Morgan Neville trains his cameras on none other than Sir Paul McCartney, especially this time when he's formed the band Wings. Neville is famous for making a whole slate of music documentaries, everybody from Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys to Hank Williams, Johnny Cash, and perhaps my favorite of the bunch, the backup singers in a documentary called 20 Feet from Stardom. Seriously, if you haven't seen that one, that's the one to go see. Now, Neville starts this story in the days right after the Beatles have broken up. McCartney and his wife Linda retire to Scotland to get away from it all and to figure out what they want to do with their lives next. And if you believe the documentary, one night in bed, McCartney casually asks his wife if she wants to start a new band with him. She says, "I'm not a musician, but sure, why not?" And that's how Wings was born. So look, I have heard that story before, and I gotta tell you, I've heard a lot of the stories before that are relayed in this movie. That makes sense. It's not like Paul McCartney was ever shy around a camera. I mean, a lot of this stuff, he's a super famous man, so a lot of his life has been well documented before. What makes this movie interesting is it's the idea of this famous man, and he is lost. He doesn't know how to follow up after the success of the Beatles. And what's more, his early post-Beatles work wasn't well received at all. So we get this peek inside McCartney's mind as he begins to wonder if maybe he's lost his mojo. So that could have been a very touchy subject, but let's face it, McCartney is such a polished media professional that he's very good at telling these stories. It's like chatting with an old friend. He's very affable. This is a very easy listen of a movie. It's easy to listen as he relates these stories. And look, I also appreciate that Neville is such an acclaimed documentarian that he has no problem getting other people to talk about this portion of McCartney's life, from his family and the friends to all those band members. There's some pretty good stuff here. Now, I do wish that there was more unseen footage here, but I suspect that's difficult to pull off when you're somebody as famous as Sir Paul McCartney. So look, you're just going to have to be satisfied with some great concert footage and all that great music. And trust me, there's lots of great concert footage and lots of great music. I mean, I'm watching this movie and I kept pulling out my phone because I kept being reminded of a song that wasn't already on one of my Spotify playlists. So I have to go in and search it out and put it in because it's just like there's a great reminder of all that great music. So maybe the big question is, well, is this a vanity project? Is it a hagiography? Or is it actually an insightful, warts and all look into the mind of a struggling artist? Well, yes and no. I mean, there's nothing shocking or earth-shattering here, but it is a solid look at a band that has always been overshadowed by McCartney's first band. Look, it's going to be hard to compete with the Beatles, and all things considered, I would say that Wings was a pretty good second act. I think if you are a fan of Wings, then there'll be plenty here that will make you want to take a walk down memory lane. And maybe more importantly, as was the case last week with EPIC, if you're a non-fan, if you may have heard some of these songs but you don't really know their story, well then I do think there's a lot of really interesting stuff to learn here. And with that in mind, I give Man on the Run, the story of Wings, 3 stars out of 4. I gotta love that in this short period of time we had a documentary about Elvis Presley and now we had one on Paul McCartney. I mean, boy, who's left? I want to see a lot more of these music docs. Every year we vote for the best documentary film as part of the Critics' Choice Awards, and that's always my favorite category. It's the one that I go to first. I love watching those movies. Who do you want to see a documentary about? If you could have anyone, well, who would that be? Comment below. I'll tell you, for me, I want to see Neil Diamond. After seeing Song Song Blues with the Neil Diamond impersonator, I kind of want to see a Neil Diamond musical documentary now. Let's get on that, people. Okay, hey everybody, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you get all my reviews just as soon as they drop. And of course, check out the podcast. It's called Two Movie Guys, and every week, my friend Joe Fryer and I get together and we chat about all the week's big new movie releases. Just search for Two Movie Guys wherever you get your podcasts. So you may have noticed we've been doing a lot of movie reviews this week, but we've been skipping the week's big release. And that's because the studios seem to be hiding it from me. But don't worry, coming up next, I've paid my own money, I've bought my own ticket, and we're going to talk about Scream 7. We'll see you then. Bye.